I'm loving it. I was in my bag. Not gonna lie. My name is Erinlashay. If you're new here, if you've already been here, welcome back. I missed you. Today's video is going to be me mood reading. This entire video is going to be me reading whatever I want, whatever I'm in the mood for, and I feel like it's going to be very fun. I'm not following a TBR this month. I feel like I could complete it if I did follow one, but I feel like I'm having a lot going on. I already started my junior year. I'm going into my 3rd week, and I'm be a little busy. I don't have a lot of time to read in all the time anymore because I have a job and have school and all that type of stuff. So we're going to read as much as we can this month, and yeah, we're going to start it off with some mood reading. Right here is my physical TBR. It's pretty stacked. I'm not gonna lie, this is stacked. It's stacked, and I already know what I'm reading actually, but I'm going to just tell you guys everything I have on my physical TBR so you can get a good look at what we could be reading in this video. I have All My Kisses For You by Monica Murphy. I was supposed to read this on my August TBR, but I did not end up getting to it. August got pretty busy. I also have One Dark Window by Rachel Gilling, and I also have Two Twisted Tongues. Like, come on. Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gilling. This is the 2nd book, and the 1st book that I just showed y'all, it's like a little series. I don't know the name of the series. I have Kelly Hart's Quicksilver, y'all. I know every time I talk about this book I'm smiling. This is the book we're going to be reading today because it's one of my most anticipated reads and I need to read it like now. Then we have Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Moscato. I really hope I'm not pronouncing her last name wrong, and I'm pretty sure I might be, and I'm so sorry for that. Another fantasy book. That's so far 3 fantasies and 1 contemporary romance. And then we have Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. I've read her dark romance, but I'm pretty sure that this is like a contemporary romance. I'm not sure. I'm not getting to that, not soon. And I'm definitely not getting to this book, which is Late Bloomer by Maisie Eadings. This isn't even my type of book. It's a contemporary romance. The only contemporary romance that I will read is by Penelope Douglas because she is my favorite author, but I also feel like H.D. Carlton is up next on the line. So then we have The Ashes and the Star-Cursed Kings. It's another book that I'm not planning to get to really soon because I'm not really in a rush to get back into the Serpent of the Nights, Crowns of Nyaxia series. Now that you guys know all the books that we could be reading this video, we're going to be reading the book that we're starting with in this video, which is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. I don't like that it's a glossy cover, but I don't even care because look at the face on this cover. Like, can you see this cover? It's so beautiful, and I know these butterflies are going to have to have a meaning. Like, they have to. But this cover, I love it. This is the 1st cover, or maybe the 2nd cover that I had with an actual face on there. The first time I got a book with a face on there, I hated it. It was not like this. I purposely got this with the face on it because look at this. Look at this. It's such a floppy book. I literally love that. I love it so much. How many pages are we looking at? Why is it something? Why is it almost 600 pages? I don't know what the book is about, so we're going in blind. You're going in blind with me, but we'll know as we keep on reading. I'm excited, so let's get started. It is currently 6:45 in the morning, and I want to give y'all a quick update because I know most of my reading will be getting done at school. I'm currently getting ready for school, and I should be leaving out in a couple minutes, and I just wanted to like update y'all on where I'm at and then how we'll be going forward like in this video because I'll be reading mostly in school. That's when I have the most time. I work tomorrow and today, so I won't have a lot of time. Like when I come home from school, I'm pretty much going to sleep. I mean, when I come home from work, I'm pretty much going to sleep, so I won't have time to be reading, so I will just be reading in school, and I feel like I get a lot of reading done in school. Right now I'm currently on page 54, right before chapter 5, and I'm just gonna say this book is interesting. Like, it's like we really just jumped right into it. Like, it's not that much like world building. You just kind of get it as you going on, and you just jump right into the book, and I love it. I love how this book is going so far. We have our main character. Her name is, let me get the pronunciation right actually, because how I say it in my head is not how it sounds out loud. Her name is Saris, but it's spelled different, and they have a pronunciation guide on like the names and then also the places, and it's just like in the first pages of the book. So yeah, that was just my little quick update before I go to school. I'm going to be reading at school and hopefully feeling a lot of emotions as I read this book. Honestly, my only Goodreads update was I'm already so into this book and we're only 54 pages in. So I will see you guys as I'm reading in school through these next 2 days, and hopefully we have an update soon. It's the next day and we have a bit of a change of plans. I was telling y'all how I would be reading in school mostly and not really getting a lot of reading done home, but I was ready to say it's a Wednesday. It's a Tuesday and I am at home, which means I didn't go to school today. It wasn't planned. I actually slept in this morning. I don't know how. I slept through my alarm, both of them. So clearly I had needed some sleep. I don't know, but I slept through my alarm and I ended up not going to school today. So I will be reading today and I get to do some reading of Quicksilver while I'm at home. I did get some reading done yesterday at school. I'm on page like 98. Y'all, it's like in this book, stuff is happening and we're learning. Like stuff is happening but we're also learning, so it's not boring at all. It doesn't feel like a information dump and we're trying to just automatically understand this world. No, we're learning as we go, and it's very interesting. I'm ready to like, you know, get through it. I hope to be at least by like page 300 today because it's like 10 o'clock, so it's early in the day and I have a lot of time to read. I'm going to start reading. I'm also going to be like reading on my Kindle also because this book is on Kindle Unlimited. Have some book mail. It's been a couple days since y'all last saw me. I haven't read much, so that's why y'all haven't saw me, but I'm going to open this package because I know there's a book in there. I've wanted this book for so long and I never went and bought it because it just cost $20, and I was like, I'm just had to get it when I really feel like it. And yes, I have bought books since I like wanted this book because I wanted this book for months now, probably before the new year. I don't know, maybe a year, but I finally decided to get it along with something else. Oh, here it is. This is the book. I got Carnage by Chantal Tessier, and this is, just look at it. Just look at it for a second. I don't really like it. If I'm being honest, I don't really like the cover, but the real cover, like the first cover, it has a man on it, y'all, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a good cover. I'm not gonna lie. And it's dark. Oh my gosh, it's like a black cover, you know, like a darker cover. It's not white. It's definitely a contrast to this. It's like more this color of the little clock or something right here. I love that cover, but I couldn't justify getting that with somebody on my cover. Like I just couldn't justify it. It wasn't this. It wasn't a fantasy book. It wasn't justifiable. This is more appropriate. This is more fitting for me. And look at this. I just love me a good floppy book. Like just like Carnage. I mean, just like Quicksilver. We love us a floppy book, guys. We love us a floppy book. Oh my gosh, y'all. As I'm thinking about like how I just got this in the mail, I'm thinking about a book that I've really been wanting to read. It just came out yesterday on the 12th. It's called Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. Oh my god, I need to get it. Is this even an update? I'm literally on page 98. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna actually start reading this book now. Kingfisher's mouth is rude and mean, and I'm not used to it because I've been reading freaking YA fantasy and it's a adult fantasy, and he's just like mean and I'm loving it. He's so real, like. officially on my last 100 pages of Quicksilver. I've been reading this book for around a month now, and I don't know if I'm going to make it through these last 100 pages. All I can feel in my chest, in my heart, is emotions, and it's just, it's it's messing with me. It's getting to me, and I don't know how I'm going to continue reading these next 100 pages because I'm already broken. I'm already confused. I'm ready to know what happens, where this goes. I'm in for a series that's not even out. This is only the first book. I want to cry. Like, I don't even think I can say that this book is a 4.5. I think the way that I'm feeling right now, this is a 5-star book. And wow. We have finally made it to the end of reading Quicksilver. I have read all 610 pages of this book, and I ate it up. I ate it up because of him, because of my Sarah's fame. I ate it up. I finished the book early today when I was in school. Yesterday I read to page 500, and then I read the last 110 pages today, along with starting a new book. We'll get into that in a minute. I want to tell y'all how I felt about this book at the end. Obviously I can't repeat my emotions so y'all can see it on camera, but I'm going to tell y'all what I left on my Goodreads review. I said this was amazing. Oh my God, it just pulled me together so effing well, and I wouldn't have took a path differently from this book. Everything was just that. Perfect. The path that this book took was not what I expected. I didn't know what I expected going through into this book. I didn't have really high hopes. I didn't know what the book was about. I just knew that one of my favorite YouTubers for books had read this book and she loved it, and I knew that I might love this book. I'm not telling y'all my rating yet. I'm gonna leave that for the end of the book. I have decided on my rating. I was at first thinking like a 4, maybe a 4 to 7.5, 4.5, and I'll let y'all know at the end of the book, at the end of this video actually, what my rating for Quicksilver was. Just know that this was an amazing book. I really love how different it felt. I haven't read many fantasies, many romances, anything. I do think that I read a lot of books, but honestly, compared to a lot of people, I might not have, and I might not have a lot of experience. But to me, this was so good and different and just not what I expected. Like, the path this book took was a path that I dream a lot of books will take. For the book I started today was Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. I could not wait to start this book. It came out earlier in September. It is officially October the 1st. I have been filming this video for a long time. This book came out and I wanted it so bad. I wanted to pre-order it. I wanted to do the whole 9, but I decided to just wait and order it when I decided to read it, and I finally got to read this book. This was one of my most anticipated books of the year because this author put out this duet, Pretty Little Burden and Pretty Little Queen, I'm pretty sure, and those two are my favorite books ever. They are the best duet I have ever read, and nobody can do that duet like she did that duet, and I love the style that she did in that book, and I just love the characters. And in this book so far, I am loving the characters. I cannot put this book down. I have so far read 141 pages of this book in one day. I feel like this was like a nice little ease after reading Quicksilver, because going from fantasy into a more romance-based book, but this also is like a world-building book because it's like a dystopian sci-fi type of area that we're in. But I feel like we are more focused on the romance, and I'm actually happy about that, and I know Nikki Harris can do that really well, so I'm so glad how this book is going, and I cannot put it down. I'm honestly going to tell y'all what comes to my head as I'm reading this book when I see like the characters together. A freaking beast of a man. Like, think of like Beauty and the Beast. I think of the Beast, and I think of her as like Tinkerbell. Like, when they explain them, that's all I think about them. Like, I cannot see them as nothing other than that. Like, they make this man sound so huge. They don't make him sound small, but he seemed like a giant, and like his kind, they are like the Zane King. It's like it's a word I can't pronounce honestly, but they're like this certain type of species. Well, not species, they're still humans, but they're like a certain type of gene, and they are like giants. And I'm just thinking about a beast the entire time he's near her. Let's just have a good time reading our next book in this video, which is Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. I finished Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. You might be like, Erin, you're in the same clothes as the montage we just watched. Because I just finished this book in one day. I started it last night and I continued reading it on to this morning, and then it's this afternoon, and then in this evening, and I have finished this book as a whole. I am done with Born for Sick. I have read a 400-page book in a day and a half. Let's say a day and a half. I was in my bag. And the author was in her bag when she wrote this book, because why did she make it so fast-paced? How did she make this book so easy to read? Like, I read it like this and like this and like this. I honestly needed it after reading Quicksilver for literally almost a month, 3 weeks to a month, and I read this in practically a day. I love this book, and I love the author because she can make a book like this. Honestly, I would say this book was so romance focused, and I don't even know if it was really a dystopian. Like, yes, it was a dystopian world. Yes, it was post-apocalyptic. Yes, it had like this crazy new little setting of a world, and honestly, the concepts in this book would definitely not look good in our world for sure. Like, people would probably think my man in this book is crazy. The king is crazy. The cradle is crazy. They would think they are crazy. It's definitely a different world, but we did not focus on that. Nope, we focused on the romance, and we focused on a lot of other stuff. I'm going to say this book was indeed spicy. Yes, it was spicy. That's all I have to say. It was super fast paced, super spicy, not gonna lie, and also I just loved this book. I don't know, I just love the vibes. It did exactly what I needed to do. It was definitely a in the moment book, and I won't be telling y'all my rating. I will say that for the end of the video, but the only thing I didn't like about this video was the little conflict at the end, and I feel like she did the same conflict, not the same conflict, but a conflict at the end of the book, just like in Pretty Little Bird, and that's why I had my rating for that book. I'm pretty sure it was a 4.75. The conflict in that book actually brought it down. I'm not sure if it did that for that. I still haven't like decided on my for sure rating, but I don't like when she just throws the conflict in at the end of the book. It definitely feels unfitting. Yeah, I finished this book though, all 400 pages in literally a day. If only I could do that with Quicksilver, a 600-page book. I will only have like 200 more pages, and I could read that now. Since I don't have work, I have like the rest of my day to read. It is currently 6 o'clock on the dot, period. 6 o'clock on the dot, and I do not know what I'm going to read. I know it looks a little dark in here. It definitely looks darker than I wanted it to look when I was giving like my little final rundown of the book that I just finished. But you know, time is changing. It's starting to get fall weather, fall time, so you know, sun's gonna go down faster. I know what book I should read next, and I really don't want to read it, but some part of me just knows like I should read this book next, and it's about that time that I read this book. How about I go and get this book off of my very long physical TBR. This is the longest my physical TBR has been. It's actually 9 books long, and I'm trying to work my way through it as we watch this video, of course. We are back at a new angle, and we have The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, and I have not read it. I think I read The Serpent in the Winds of the Night this summer. I feel like that was my first book getting into fantasy. No, my second after reading Powerless, The Love of My Life. And I have this book that I'm reading now. I'm pretty sure. I guess we're going to read The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. I rated the first book in the series 3-star because it just... it fell short for me. The ending kind of saved it for me, made the rating higher, but it would have been just a 2 stars. Like, I got through it and didn't really affect me at all. The plot wasn't really interesting to me. The romance wasn't really interesting to me. I just was there to read the book and get it over with. But the ending of that book I definitely enjoyed, and it definitely raised the rating for that book, and I hope that it will be good in this. I hope this will be good. I hope this is better and not worse, if you know what I mean. A lot of people liked the first book in the series. I did not, and a lot of people did not like the second book, so hopefully I do like this one and just don't like the first one. Let's just start reading the Crowns of Nyaxia, second book in the series. This cover is stunning. finally time to put this reading vlog to rest. In today's video, I read 3 books, one being Born for Silk by Nikki Harris, Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. The first book I read in this video was Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, and y'all, on my Goodreads, I rated this book a 5 stars, but I'm going to give you the different rating, which is the rating I have decided on over time, because I read this book from September the 7th to October the 1st, and that was literally about a month ago when I finished this book, because it's October the 28th. So it was a long time that I spent reading this book, and my final rating for this book is a 4.25. This was a great book. I just don't think it was 5 stars because I haven't thought about it much since. Have I thought about it in connections to other fantasy books? Yes. Have I thought about this man on the cover? Yes. Have I thought about their relationship? Have I thought about the next books? I have thought about all of that, but I have not thought about this book in a way that I would think about a 5-star book. So I'm going to settle on this book being a 4.25 stars. It was a great book. Honestly, I'm gonna just say you should read this book for the ending. I feel like the wrap up of this book was beautiful. I feel like the love in this book, what happened in this book, everything in this book was beautiful and so well put together, and I love the storyline in this book and how we can see how a new world works. I am so sorry that my cat is distracting me right now. I did not want him to be in this video, but he just climbed up my bed. So meet Nova as I review Quicksilver. This is Nova. This is my cat. I got him while I was filming this video. Y'all did not know I actually got him like a couple days ago, so I wasn't like filming, but I got Nova and he's here, and I promise to talk about him more in another video, but not right now. He just really wants my attention, so I'm trying to wrap this up. The next book I read was Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. This book was a 4.75 rating. I would say go into this book if you are looking for a romance book with some spice. A quick, fast-paced read. Definitely quick, fast-paced, and you just want a sci-fi world in the background, if you know what I'm talking about. Just like a little nice little world building, a nice little place just to get you away from the real world and take you into a different world with some good romance and some good spice. Honestly, I feel like these books are definitely just for the vibes. This is something I feel about all of Nikki Harris's books that I have read. The sudden conflict, like third act conflict, always throws me off, and I love how she resolves them, but I just don't like that. I don't feel like they're needed. I never feel like they're needed, but I honestly understand how authors, maybe romance authors, want to extend the story and just have some conflict shown, but I just feel like it's not needed in her books, and I would definitely rate this book 5 stars if it didn't have that, because this book just was an amazing book to read. The last book in this video I read does not have a rating because I DNF'd The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I honestly just could not get into the book. I want to tell y'all where I left off in the book, but I actually took my bookmark off and just said, no, I'm not reading this anymore. It was so hard to read, and it was just so slow, and I feel like I just didn't want to read another slow book by Carissa Broadbent because I felt like The Serpent and the Wings of the Night was slow, and I just didn't want to do the same thing with The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is the hardcover, so it doesn't have a sleeve on. The sleeve's in the other room. I haven't even bothered to put it back on. I would just say, from what I did read in this book, I feel like it was slow, and I never really was connected to the couples in this. I wanted this book to bring me closer to them and maybe focus a little bit more on that along with what was happening, but I feel like the plot didn't really align with what I really wanted from this book. So it wasn't just for me, and I know it wasn't going to be for me. I read about 100 pages and I decided to DNF it. Yeah, that's all the explanation I need to give for that. With that being said, that is the final reviews of this video. In this video, we had 2 books I fully read, 1 book I DNF'd, and overall ratings for this video was probably like at least a 4-star and above, which is amazing. Good ratings for this book. It took me 2 months to film this video, from September to now the end of October. We're going on 2 months of filming this video. I hope my next reading vlog do not take me this long, and I'm actually supposed to be starting my new reading vlog today. So if you see the setup similar in the next video in the beginning, comment down below that you watch this video when you watch my next video, which is very exciting. All I'm gonna say is it's a classic fantasy, and if you like wizards, comment down below what you think it is. Thank you for watching today's video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.